Hi, Steve Kirsh and Yogi here with the answer to today's adoption questions. The question is, as adoptive parents, when can we expect that insurance coverage will begin for the child that we're adopting? Under federal law, any health insurance plan covered by ERISA, that's most health insurance offered by employers for for-profit companies, virtually all group health insurance, is governed by ERISA. Under the federal law, insurance begins on the date of placement. Now, the date of placement is not what it sounds like. And if you were to call your insurance person or your human resources department and ask when does coverage begin for an adopted child, they would look at the words date of placement, and they're liable to say something like, coverage begins on the date that you get custody of the baby, or coverage begins on the date the baby leaves the hospital, or coverage begins on the date the adoption is final. All of those sound right, but in fact none of them are right. Date of placement is defined in the federal law as the date upon which the adoptive parents become legally and financially responsible for the child. When Kirsh and Kirsh handles an adoption, in our initial court order of custody, we have the court make a finding that the date of placement for ERISA is the date of birth. So if Kirsh and Kirsh has handled the adoption, you'll have a court order that says the date of placement is the date of birth. Now, ERISA only applies to for-profit companies, but my experience is that even those adoptive parents who work for, or are a teacher, for example, or work in a church, or some other entity that's not a for-profit entity, hospitals, most hospitals are not for-profit, their health insurance plans mirror the health insurance plans that are governed by ERISA and contain the same language of date of placement. So it's very important when you're looking at your insurance policy or even asking about it, get a copy of the policy or the provision and look to see if in fact the words date of placement are there. I think you'll find that they are in most cases. I've provided right here a link to the federal law or the statute that governs health insurance for adopted children. I hope that's helpful. Yogi and I are always here to answer questions.